I started going to my Arabic classes, that is in madrasa. And there I learned basics of Arabic to read Quran, and also used to hear lots of stories about Ibrahim, like Prophet Ibrahim and Ishmael, Isaac and all. And when I was in my school, it was a convent school, so there I used to hear to the biblical story of Abraham, the patriarch Abraham, Isaac and Ishmael, and it was fascinating to me. And both were telling a story of the same person from two different perspectives. So later I realized there was a third perspective, or the first perspective, which was a Jewish perspective of it. Hi, myself is Thoufeek Zakriya. I'm from Kochi. I'm a Hebrew calligrapher, a historian on a particular topic, Jews of Kochi, and I'm a culinary artist. And this is my story.
Born into a Muslim family in Kochi, Zakriya is now a dedicated keeper of Jewish history in South India. The 35-year-old artist vividly recalls the first time he visited the famous Jew Street and the Paradesi Synagogue in Mattancherry on his father's scooter named Black Cat.
So my first encounter to Jewtown or with the Jews of Kochi starts when I was in my pre-primary schooling. One of my friends told me he went to the palace and the Jewtown, and he was narrating the story in my class. So I got fascinated and I was a little jealous, I think. And I insisted my father to take me to that place, but it was too late. By the time we reached here, the palace was closed obviously, and my father had no other option other than taking me to the Jewtown and Jew Street. So he took me, and we walked through this road, the very door which we can see from this window. And we went to the door, but there was a gatekeeper and he was not letting me to go inside because there was some prayer happening. And I was keep on insisting that person, please let me in, I just want to see, and I'm just walking out. But suddenly a Jewish person came from the synagogue and he told, okay, it's a kid, let him come and see.
Interestingly, madrasa lessons and Arabic and the stories of patriarchs that are common in Abrahamic religions build the curiosity in young Zakriya.
I used to ask it to the people, and I learned about the Jews in Kochi, and I remember that I've been to that place, but I don't know much about it. And then I came here and started talking to people about this, but I realized they have a special language which is known as Hebrew, and it was similar to Arabic. It is written from right to left, and I learned that both the languages have similarity, and I was wanting to know more about Hebrew.
And then a Christian Bible took him to Hebrew self-learning path. Zakriya did his junior college in a Christian-run institution, and from the school library that was undergoing refurbishing, he found a Gideon Bible.
So this is the first book which I got from my school when I was in +1, and in which I saw the first printed Hebrew letters. So these are those letters. This Bible was in a good shape, but I asked to my teacher, can I take it? So she was happy to give it. The reason why I asked that Bible was because there was a verse from chapter John written in 25 different languages in the preface. So I just want to go through it, and I happened to find a Hebrew writing there, and that was the first printed Hebrew verses which I have seen in my life. So it was like a treasure to me. I took it to home. I just read the English version of that, and there is a word for God in it. So I wanted to know what is the Hebrew word for God, and there started my journey on the exploring the language Hebrew, and I had no other way to reach or how to read it. So something which I could do was just looking at it and just copying the alphabets. So by accidentally I was practicing a art form known as calligraphy. Back then I didn't know there was a art form by the name calligraphy existed also, but I was practicing it. And then without even knowing that it was an art form that I'm practicing. So I was just copying that printed thing with a pen, quill and bamboo sticks.
In a shop that sold second-hand books, Zakriya found a volume that had Hebrew on one side and English on the other. He couldn't read Hebrew, but there was a prayer called Kaddish at the end with a transliteration in English. That became his Rosetta Stone to learn Hebrew on his own. With the consistent effort, Zakriya improved his Hebrew, and then a turning point came.
So my friends and myself used to take a trip from Fort Kochi beach, then to the Mattancherry palace, and it ended up in the synagogue. And we used to spend enough and more time in synagogue, sitting, doing nothing, just enjoying the ambience of the place. So one day, suddenly there was a few people who came inside the synagogue, and the synagogue was closed from inside. I think it was because there was some people inside the synagogue and few delegates or somebody from the government came, and I remember that it was the wife of the election commissioner back then. So they came to visit the Jew town. So Johnny uncle, that is Joseph Halegua, he was accompanying them, and they came and they opened the altar, that is the heikel, and showed the Torah. He opened the Torah and he showed the Torah, and everybody was looking very curiously at that. So somebody from the crowd, they were just saying, is it kept upside down? Because Hebrew looks like as if it is kept upside down. So I was standing very next to the Torah because I took the chance to see it very closely. Even though commissioner was there, it doesn't make me to stop myself from going closer to the Torah. So I told, no, it is correct. I was way too loud for being in that place. So suddenly Johnny uncle looked at me and, how you know? I told, I can read Hebrew. So I was just 15 years old or something like that back then. So he told, like, how you know Hebrew? I told, I learned myself. Oh, interesting. You stay back, we'll speak. So he explained about Torah. I was listening to it very carefully. And then the election commissioner and the team went from there. And finally, he stood there and we sat for a while and spoke about it, and he asked me how you learned, what was the reason you learned. So I told my thing, like I was interested to know about the Jewish culture, and I was listening to the story of the patriarchs and the Nabi, the prophets. So I just want to know what is the another version of the third version or the first version of the story. And that's how I came. So he told me, he encouraged me, and yeah, good, very nice. And that was it. And we never had much conversation. And Joy, who is the gatekeeper of the synagogue right now, caretaker. So he told, there is Sammy uncle who will be very interested to speak to you. You wait. Tomorrow, some other day when you come, you wait, I will introduce you to him. And he was the one who introduced me to Sammy uncle, who was like a walking encyclopedia on the history of Jews of Kochi. And we used to speak like very little in the beginning, and that conversations took us a long, maybe from 5-minute conversation, it used to take to 2-hour, 3-hour conversation. I used to ask very genuine questions to him on the history of Jews of Cochin and the Judaism. So he used to patiently give all the answers, and like our that friendship continued for 2 years.
Zakriya's Hebrew education was progressing, but on the formal education front, he suffered a jolt.
Plus 2, I was shocked by a news that I failed in my plus 2 exams with first class mark. So I failed in mathematics, one subject, and 1 year I couldn't go to my higher studies. I sat in my house, kind of depressed situation initially, but I never spend my time without doing anything. So what I have done is I started learning about Hebrew, more about Arabic. So initially I told about the similarity between Arabic and Hebrew. So when I got that printout, and this was the time when I realized that the connection and the similarity between two language was very much or more than what I thought of. And then I started like using all of my books which I used to use in my plus 2. Anyway, I'm failed. So I used those notebooks to practice my Hebrew and Arabic calligraphy, kept on going and going. And then I knew about the internet facilities which was available, and I used to go to the internet cafe and download pictures and more details about this culture, and I learned about more languages, that is Samaritan, like Syriac, Aramaic, Coptic, Greek, and so on. Like almost 13 languages I used to manage myself when I was back then. So those lessons what I learned in that 1 year was not in any syllabus or in any curriculum throughout the world. So I was the student, I was the teacher, and I was the principal of my own institute.
As an undergraduate, Zakriya studied hotel management as his family was in the food business. For the final year project of his 4-year course, he focused on Jewish cooking traditions. He also continued calligraphing. In 2009, Zakriya took his friend to visit Jew town in Kochi. He brought along 10 different designs of Birkat Habayit, a Jewish prayer often inscribed on wall plaques and displayed at the entrance of Jewish homes. At his friend's instance, Zakriya showed it to Sara Kohen, a venerable matriarch of the Jewish community in Kochi.
My friend insisted me to go and meet her, like show her. So I told, okay, let's see. But even I was shy, but he took me and showed this. And she was like pretty surprised to see a person from a different community writing Hebrew so well. And she asked me at least like few minutes, are you a Jew? Like so few many times. And then I told, no, I'm a Muslim. All these things happened. From there, the friendship of me and Sara auntie started. And it was in 2009. Sara auntie was like the matriarch of the community. When the community was alive and full here, back then she was the person who used to head the banquets. She was the head chef of the community. You know, she had a very good space or a status in this place, and everybody used to respect her, and she had a very strong personality. And people used to say she was like very furious also. She can fight, open up a fight with anyone. But I have seen the most sweetest version of Sara auntie when I came here, because she always used to call me as Ashane. You know, maybe because my name was very difficult for her to pronounce. But she used to say it, but she likes to call me Ashane than my name. So, and but she was more like a grandmother to me. And whenever I come to Cochin, or like whenever I was here in Cochin, I used to visit her, and I always used to carry her favorite snacks like achappam and kodalappam. It's like two things which she likes very much. So that was one thing, and she was very strong. So the day I met Sara auntie, it was not only Sara auntie whom I have met. I met three other people. That is Tahaika, who take care of Sara auntie, and his wife Jasmine Ita, and Seli Chechi. She used to take care of Sara auntie. So these 3 people or 4 people came to my life on the same day, and it was like from then, like from 2009 till the date, Tahaka is like a very good friend of mine. We have done so many things together. We used to go for a history research trip. He used to ride the bike, and I used to sit behind, and we used to go to the places and do research and stuff like that. And Sara auntie also used to love that we both are going to explore Jewish history, and she always blessed us for whenever we used to go.
Cohen used to host Zakriya for many occasions and introduce him to members of the dwindling Jewish community. On occasions, he cooked for her friends adhering to kosher rules.
I used to sit with Sara auntie, Rima auntie, and a few recipes from other people from here, Juliet auntie. Even I remember Queenie auntie have shared few recipes for me. She gave me the printed or handwritten copies of paper, which I still have, and all this helped me to complete my research on Jewish cooking. So after like doing my schooling, I got placed with Taj Groups of Hotel, and I was about to go to Bangalore for it. So before that, the Jewish friends in this place, like Sara auntie, Isaac uncle, Reema auntie, Gummy uncle, all are no more. They told we'll have a small get together before that, and so I told, like, for that you have to prepare some Jewish food for me. And I had promised Sara auntie that I will prepare biryani for her one time, my speciality. And I thought that was the best time to. So I told I will prepare biryani and you prepare some Jewish food back for me. So it's like both of us will enjoy some food. And I prepared the biryani from Sara auntie's house, and by following all the Jewish cooking laws what she have taught me. And we prepare it, and she had also prepared some Jewish food like pastel and fish unda curry, that is like fish kofta curry, and few many other snacks as well.
Zakriya was in Dubai when Sara Kohen died in 2019 at the age of 96. He took help from one of his friends to take a ticket and flew immediately to Kochi on hearing about her demise.
I was here for her funeral, and I helped like as much as I could from my position to get the things sorted along with Taha, Ika, and we went to buy the clothes and other things which is required for funeral. And even I helped the wife of Rabbi who was there. Luckily the Rabbi was in the town, and Rabbi's wife was doing all the needed rituals, and she wanted a person to speak like a translator, or she wanted also who have little knowledge about Jewish things, so that easy for her to communicate. So I was there to help her like to get the things sorted out, and I thought that's it. And so I was not even sure whether I can hold the legs of the manjal, that is the bed in which the body is taken to the graveyard. So I was just being there, present with all my emotions holding my hand. But the Jewish community members who were there, they called me, and even Tahaka. So there was, in Jewish belief, there is a ritual of spraying perfume over the deceased, and they invited me and Tahaka to do it, and with a shaking hand, and it's very emotional. When I speak, I feel like very emotional. So I took part in that ritual, and with the permission of the Jewish community. They told, I told them that is it okay that we are doing it? Like, it must not make any of her last rituals to be like this. No, they told, no, Thoufeek, like when she was alive, you were the people who were there to keep her happy and alive. So this is your responsibility to do it, or duty to do it.
Over the last 15 years, Zakriya has done exhibitions and collaborative works in different parts of the world, from India to Israel to Greece. He also runs a blog and Facebook page named Jews of Malabar to document the history of Jewry in South India. Incidentally, it was a post on the page that led to his meeting with Israel President Reuven Rivlin in 2020.
So one time I have uploaded the history of the Hebrew Quran, which was written from Kochi. So in 1757 or 1760 is the time when the scholars say that the Cochin Jew by the name Ezekiel Rahabi have commissioned a Dutch Jew who was a convert later to Christianity. So Ezekiel Rahabi commissioned this Dutch guy to translate Quran into Hebrew, and with the help of a scribe who was from Cochin, he was a Kohen, and because of these three people, there was a book by the name, or book, which was Hebrew Quran, and this happened almost 250 years back. So when I tweeted this particular tweet, the President of Israel, Reuven Rivlin, have seen this, and the best part was his father, Yosef Yoel Rivlin, have also translated Quran into Hebrew. So there was some element which was connecting these two things, and President was fascinated by it, and somebody from the Twitter asked, would you like to present this gift to the president? Because so somebody have tweeted about the president's father's Hebrew Quran, and the title of that Quran, Al-Quran, the way it is written in Hebrew was little different than all the other Hebrew calligraphy is what I've seen. So I thought I'll just do a small replica of that, and I made into a nice design, and I posted it like a tribute to father who have translated Quran into Hebrew. So president have seen that, and he was fascinated, and he wanted to meet me. So then what else, and it was during the peak of the pandemic era, but the things worked well, and I got a chance to go to Israel. I met the president. The relation between UAE and Israel was normalized, and the few weeks before the year ended, I was standing with the president of Israel.
As a Muslim artist deeply connected to Jewish history and culture, Zakriya has faced questions regarding his stance on the Israel-Palestine conflict. He insists that he firmly supports universal brotherhood.
I always stand with the innocent people, the people who suffer. So I don't take side of any particular group, but I do stand with the innocent people, the people who are going through that suffer. So I do believe that anyone who's living this world actually deserves to wake up to a bright day, a beautiful day, and have a very happy day, and also they deserve to go to sleep peacefully, and that has to continue, and that is the responsibility of any leadership or any nation to provide to their people.